Hey guys, Zelda here, and welcome back to 999. We are in the torture chamber with 7 and Lotus. Last time we went through door 2, and we got into some kind of jail, and we got out of there, and now we're here. Yeah, I believe that's pretty much it. Did we do the shower room as well? I think that was the one before that, right? No, we definitely just only did the jail because it took a lot of time. So, but yeah, we did the jail, and my kitten is doing shit that I'm very worried about right now. Gonna fall off. I know she's gonna. Okay, well, she's smarter than that, thank God. Anyway, so now we're in the torture room, and yeah, we're gonna rave on this song. Yeah. Let's go. Anyway, let's click some things. Okay, so don't know what they do. Don't know what they do. I need to pick up things. That looks like I can pick it up. Okay, we got a wrench. A number of rusty torture tools are lined up here. I don't think there's anything else here we need. Set of rusty stairs that lead to the door we came through. What, you want to go back, Junpei? I wish solving this puzzle were that easy. But that's where we came from. What's in here? The cover is bolted on there pretty good. I should be able to get those bolts up with the wrench I just found, though. Oh, okay. Sweet, it's open. The hole is too small. You can't see in, even with the cover off. Well, you can't see in, but I think there's enough room to stick your arm in. Are you sure you want to do that? There could be something dangerous in there. Okay, I admit that it scares me a little, but we need to see if there's anything useful in there. Alright, here we go. Arm into the hole. Hey, I think I can feel something. It's small, cold, and hard. It doesn't feel like there's anything else in here. Alright, let's see what this thing is. The sun key! The key with the sun symbol on it. We should be able to open the other door with this. Yeah, but we gotta get out of this room before we can do that. And we're probably gonna need the sun key to do that. But none of the doors in this room have keyholes. I bet we gotta use that. I bet we gotta use that on something that's not a door. Okay. These stairs go to the exit. No, fine, I'll just touch these things. Red, yellow. Do you think the colors mean something? No idea. I mean, red looks more dangerous, but other than that, the bottom of this one looks like it's covered in rust. I don't think it'll move at all. These levers gotta turn something on. Of course they would. All they can do is turn something on or off. That's what is important is what they turn on and off. Don't say the floor is gonna suddenly open up. Buttons? There's a bunch of buttons here with the letters A to F on them. I wonder if they do anything. Down you go. Oh, so if I press it again, back you come. I guess these buttons switch something on or off when you push them. I'm just doing stuff. Does this do something? There's something on the screen. This device will conduct an experiment. Once the experiment has been completed, the door will unlock. First, adjust our switches to match the blocks in the sample above. Huh? I don't know what this thing is, but we gotta figure out this puzzle. It's right next to our torture chair. Whatever it is, I don't think it's good. Anyway, we just adjust the switches to match up the blocks on the top, right? You adjust the switches shown at the 4 corners of the screen. Then you press the check button. Junpei, I don't know what this thing does. You can always come back to it later. There's lots of other things you could do. Yeah, I don't really need to do it. Whatever you turn on, whenever you turn on one of these switches, more blocks show up on the screen. So I think you gotta figure out which of the buttons you have to press in order to get the screen to match the diagram. Yeah, but it's hard to figure out with what buttons does what. If you want to see how many blocks each switch adds, just turn on one switch. Then all of them are off. When all of them are off, there aren't any blocks, right? Then you can see how many each switch adds. Oh yeah, I get it. Okay, so you can do something with that. Pretty close. Don't know what we're supposed to do with it though. So why don't if we do this? Okay. What about that? That's the one. I don't get it, but fine. I don't care. Adjustment is completed. Now proceeding to execution phase. To complete the experiment, data must be collected from subject. Once preparation is finished, place the subject in chair. Whoa! I thought we solved the puzzle already. What does it mean with preparation? I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this. I think this means one of us has got to sit in the chair. Well, 7 is never gonna fit in that thing. It's either you or me, Junpei. Collecting data. I wonder if it's going to run electricity through the subject. There's a human head on the screen. Maybe it's gonna sap the brain with a little electricity? This already doesn't sound safe. Anyway, we still got to prepare. We can talk about this after we figured out what it means by preparation, alright? Well, it wants it to prepare, so maybe we ought to ask it what we need to do. Error, the disposal tank is closed. Please fill tank with water. What tank? Oh man, don't tell me we gotta do something with a water tank. Well, there's a probability. There's probably something around here to open the tank or whatever it's asking us to do. Looks like the only controls are in this room. What's wrong, Junpei? What are you doing on the floor? Well, I thought maybe if I got down there I could see through the glass. It's not working though. You don't think it's just a large sheet of glass they put into an indentation? I don't know. I mean, why would they do that? And the placement of the chair. You're not making any sense, Junpei. What's your point? Well, I'm not sure, but don't you think there's something under the glass? The sun key should fit in the keyhole on these manacles. Alright, the sun key, in you go. And yes! Great, they're open. I don't think we're gonna need the sun key again in here anyway. Not what I said. I don't think we're gonna need the sun key again in here though. It just seems unlikely. Alright, sun key, you've done your job. Into my pocket with you. Sorry, I messed that up completely. I wonder what this all does. There's a ton of knobs here. Doesn't seem like any of them do anything though. You think it's broken? I certainly don't have any idea. All these dials are pointing in different directions. Maybe something will happen if we turn them? Ha! Shoot. They're all rusted. I guess turning them doesn't really do anything. Okay, well, guess I might as well try. Let's give it a shot. Nope, no dice. This thing isn't gonna go anywhere. Oh, give me that! You just ain't man enough. Sure, Belle, give it a shot. Let's see how much more of a man you are. That's not good for my bite. Hey, you're going to break it. Man, that thing ain't gonna go anywhere. I can see some oil or something down there at the base of the lever. Yeah, it feels like it's got some movement to it. I should be able to pull this one. Alright, let's pull the lever. Is that water? What the hell? What's going on? Will you calm down? It's just water going somewhere. It sounds like it's underneath us. That means the floor... Oh! Junpei, look! What's she... Oh, damn. I can see through the glass now. It's a shark, belly side up. I'm so sorry, Sharky. It's a great white, too. EDBF. 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 What? There's a strange noise coming from the chair. It looks like it's been turned on. I guess the puzzle here was that the power had to be sent in a specific way. I'm sorry, sometimes I say it look like and I'm like, no, it looks like. I can't, somehow my mouth can't create the sound of s all of a sudden. So, it's good yet? The restraining device is unlocked. Please seat subject and device. The message on the screen was disturbingly detached.
Well, like we thought, it's not going to work unless someone sits in it.
Fun.
How ironic that this would be the situation in which this slim, beautiful body is useful.
Lotus, are you sure?
I agree. You have a beautiful, slim, beautiful body. I will agree with you on that.
I can sit in it and you can solve.
Junpei's right. If we screw it up...
Seven couldn't bring himself to finish the thought. His eyes fell to the floor. Junpei followed them. Beneath them was a dead shark, floating underneath the glass. Perhaps it had been killed by an electric shock.
I'll be fine. Even if I fall in, the shark is already dead.
But...
No one likes an indecisive man, Junpei. I can still give you advice from the chair too, you know. I just don't want to stay in this room any longer than we have to. Go over to that screen and let's get this over with.
After her words had made it clear that Lotus would book no argument, she turned and walked towards the chair without hesitation. But she did not sit down. Despite what she had said, she indeed felt hesitation. Her legs shook.
Look, do you think you could do me one last favor?
Don't say last.
You're making me nervous.
Just listen. If something happens to me, I want you to tell my daughters. Tell them that I loved them very much. No, tell them that I will always love them.
Daughters?
He's such a good mom.
You've got kids?
Yes, I do. I suppose they're about your age, Junpei. They're twins. I had them when I was young after... Well, some things happened. Their names are Nona and...
Wait! Nona?
Junpei's words shut out before he even realized what he was saying. He remembered the story Seven had told him.
Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were in the experiment.
But what the hell? What's wrong with you?
Lotus took a step back from Junpei.
Oh.
Seven looked just as shocked as Junpei. He blinked his eyes rapidly as if he weren't sure if he was completely awake.
No way, it couldn't. Lotus, is your last name Kashiwabara?
Lotus's eyes went wide.
How do you know that?
Are you serious? What the hell is this? There's no way you're that kid's mom.
That kid? Wait, what do you mean that kid? Why are you acting like you've met her?
Seven's brow furrowed.
I have.
What?
Yeah, I met one of your kids.
When?
9 years ago.
Where?
On this ship.
Why were you...
It's not a short story.
Look, I don't care how long it is. Tell me, please, what happened here?
Fine, I'll tell you.
Seven glanced at Junpei and then turned back to Lotus and began to speak. It was the same story Junpei had heard only minutes before, every detail.
But... And then, that was when... From there, it looked like... Just as if, finally... That's all I remember from 9 years ago.
At last, 7 finished. Lotus shook her head.
Oh my god. Everything I've been looking for the last 9 years. The person who had all the answers was right here.
Looking for?
Yes, that's right. 9 years ago, my daughters disappeared. Then 9 days later, they came back. They never told me what happened to them over those 9 days. I took them to the doctor, but I was told they hadn't been hurt in any way. Still, I was sure that they had been through something terrible. So I couldn't bring myself to force them to talk about it. If I did, then I'd force them to relive whatever horrors they'd been through. I didn't have any choice. I had to try and ignore it and move on.
Oh.
A few months passed. Gradually, they started to act like they always had, before they disappeared. They smiled and made jokes and did all the silly things kids do. It got harder and harder for me to ask them about what happened. How could I ask them to remember that? Eventually, I knew there was no way I could do it. But I'm still a mother. I couldn't simply forget that something terrible had happened to my children. So I decided I would investigate what happened on my own. I would find out what happened during those 9 missing days.
What did you find out?
Nothing. The police pretended to be concerned, but they didn't do anything. Once the 16 children who'd gone missing came back, things were just... Even the media didn't talk about what had happened.
It was just covered up, shoved under the rug.
I figured someone was probably paying or threatening them to keep their mouths shut.
Probably Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Yup.
No, probably something even bigger than that.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Have you heard of them before?
No. It's the first time I've ever heard that name. 7. How did you find out that Cradle Pharmaceuticals was connected to the kidnappings in the first place?
I figured finding out whatever the victims had in common would lead me to the culprit. That's what any good cop does.
Figure out what every victim has in common that would lead you to the culprit. What does every single one of these people have in common? Like every single one of the 9 people on this ship right now. The 9th man seemed to know something, and he apparently knew Ace's background, which had to do with Cradle Pharmaceuticals and a Nonary game played 9 years ago. Lotus is the mom of 2 kids that were on the first Nonary game. 7 discovered the kids on the ship during the first Nonary game. Clover was also in that Nonary game. Snake was also in that Nonary game. And then we have Santa, who was most likely also in the same Nonary game with Snake on that boat. The only one who doesn't fit is June and Junpei. The only thing that June has in common with, like, anyone is that, you know, that Junpei knows her. That's the only thing that connects the two. So, she's the odd one out in this case. Everybody has a connection to that first Nonary game, except for June and Junpei. So, just letting you know that. So, we're on the same page.
What did they have in common?
Every single one of the kids who disappeared had gone to this one hospital at some point. The hospital was one of a bunch that were under the control of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. After that, it was just about connecting the dots.
The hospital.
The hospital.
And for a while, I was trying to get some kind of information out of the kids at the hospital. One of them told a weird story.
What was it?
Have you heard about the Gansfeld experiment? I guess all these kids had to go through it while they were at the hospital. I think it was passed off as some sort of counseling.
What did you call it again?
Oh, the Gansfeld experiment. This is how it's set up. First, subjects Q and A are put into separate rooms, far away from one another. Then a series of video images are shown to subject Q, who is told to send the images to Subject A by thinking about them. Subject A, on the other hand, is put in a large reclining chair and given a blindfold. With their senses cut off, A is asked to guess what images Q is looking at.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that. It's a famous telepathy experiment, isn't it?
Telepathy. That's how the experiment on this ship was supposed to work.
The experiment to control people, right?
Yeah. I don't know if any of the telepathy stuff really exists, but maybe someone from Cradle Pharmaceuticals bought into it.
You mean Ace? Lotus grunted. Seven had been thinking hard for the last several minutes and finally spoke.
Even if that is the case, I still don't get how that has anything to do with any of this. The Nonary Game, Zero, why we were kidnapped. What does any of that have to do with telepathy?
It doesn't. The reason why you were kidnapped is probably something to do with the original Nonary Game. Maybe someone who played that game is the reason why you're here right now.
I know I brought all this up, but I have no idea. Maybe none of this stuff is connected after all.
Then in that moment of silence, a cold voice echoed down from the
No
ceiling.
subject has been detected. Unless a subject is detected within 60 seconds, all power will be shut down. System recovery is estimated to take 1 hour.
Oh,
If you
we
wish
don't
to
have
proceed
that.
with the experiment, please seat subject in the restraining device.
We don't have
Whoa.
that time.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going.
Oh, no, that's not what we...
Just hurry up and get it over with. Junpei, I'm counting on you.
Right.
Lotus sat down on the chair. Junpei looked at her one last time, then made his way to the monitor.
Lotus, please, tell me right away if you feel anything weird.
You worry too much. Now get on with it and be a man, or June's gonna leave you.
Lotus was putting on the best act she could manage, but her legs were shaking so much that if she hadn't been sitting, she likely would have fallen down.
Lotus.
Failure was not acceptable.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's go. Junpei took one last breath and stared at the monitor. Okay. Oh god. God, this is such a weird ass thing. This doesn't do anything. Huh. This really doesn't do much. Oh, fun. I'm just gonna keep that hint on. Okay. That one does actually need to be. It's pretty good. Let's check the other side. That's not good. These two still need to be on. These are all good now. How do I get these two on? Like that? I only need one. Oh, these don't need to be on. No, that one's on again. And those are off. It's a very complicated puzzle, this. It is. That's pretty good. No, huh? I got one side right, and then the other side isn't right. There we go. Took you long enough. The experiment has concluded. The door will now unlock. I can hear the door unlocking. And now we gotta make a new message. Release subject. Gonna make a new message? Now we get a new message, I think. Release subject from restraining device. Lotus, are you alright? Yes, I am. I'm glad nothing bad happened, but I do think my life just got a little shorter. Hold on, I'll get you out right away. Shouldn't take long for Seven and me to get her out of here. Let's get out of here now. Being a guinea pig is not for me. Damn straight. I don't ever want to see this thing again. How we go? You found it! Yay!
The hallway goes to the left.
Yeah, but I don't see any doors.
Guess we just need to keep going.
Right, let's go.
It turned left twice before they saw the elevator.
An elevator!
Just what we need. Let's take this to C-Deck.
In silence, they jogged up to it. Junpei pushed the C button. The elevator motor ground away, and before long they found themselves once again on C-Deck. The door opened and they stepped off.
Huh?
They'd expected to find four other people waiting for them. There were none.
No one's here.
Where did they go?
I have no idea.
Lotus shrugged. Something in the pit of Junpei's stomach stirred. Tried to forget the feeling and took off down the long hallway before him.
Hey, Junpei!
We should follow him.
Seven and Lotus followed at a run. They ran and ran and ran. The hallway seemed endless.
I know where we need to go. The door behind the central staircase. There was a sun symbol on the keyhole of that door, and I happen to have the sun key in my pocket right now. This should open that door.
That was why they ran for the central staircase. They had run for quite some time when they arrived at the door that ended the hallway. Junpei stopped.
All right, time to open this.
He laid his hand on the doorknob, his breathing heavy. Seven laid a hand on his arm.
Hold on a sec there.
Huh?
We don't have the key for this one yet.
Oh, we don't. The Jupiter. There's a Jupiter symbol engraved over the keyhole.
That's...
Oh, it's the Jupiter symbol.
Seven was right. They had no Jupiter
We
key.
can't open this door.
Unfortunately, no, we can't.
Jeez, the sun door's gotta be just on the other side of this, you know? We can't just stop...
Frustrated, he twisted the doorknob. The door opened.
Hey, it opened.
What?
Maybe the others decided, let's go through one of the other doors. I mean, Santa, June, Clover, Ace. They were the ones left, right? Santa, June, Ace, and Clover. So... they could have at least made number 8. And then Santa and Clover, which would make 7, and then Ace would be 8. So they could have opened the number 8 door.
And the others must have found the Jupiter key.
Well, what are we waiting for?
As he spoke, he shoved the door the rest of the way open. They rushed through and stopped cold.
What?
The terrible scene before them made their blood run cold. Uh-oh. Here we go again. My favorite song. 3 people lay dead on the floor, covered in blood.
Why?
Junpei felt a cold sweat trickle down his spine. Couldn't breathe. His legs shook. His body felt cold, deadly cold. But his blood was boiling hot. He could feel his mind begin to fade. He couldn't think. He couldn't concentrate. His mind was blank.
What the hell? What the hell happened?
Seven's voice was weak and broken. He edged towards the bodies, his movements stiff.
Clover.
He bent over Clover and pressed his fingers to her wrist.
Nothing. She's dead.
Suddenly, Lotus moved. Before he understood what was happening, her hand was in Junpei's vest pocket.
Hey, what are you doing?
Get out of there. She wants to get out of there quick. He leapt back. Lotus looked up to him, terrified.
The key! Get me the sun key!
Why?
Why do you think? We have to get out of here before the murderer comes back!
The murderer?
The murderer. The murderer. Once again, Junpei looked at the dead bodies.
Santa, Clover, and Ace.
I don't really care about Ace. Ace could die for all I care.
3 people, 3 dead bodies.
I'm not really too sad about Santa either, because, that one time he, took Jun and stuff through the number 9 door with a gun.
That means that the person who had killed them was...
Also, Clover tried to axe murder us, so... Or not tried, she actually did, so I don't really care. The only one who hasn't done anything is June. Well, and Lotus and Seven haven't really done anything either.
No.
There's no way.
No,
She
it
would
can't be
never. Akane could never.
Give it to me!
Before Junpei could react, Lotus dove back into his pocket and came out with the key.
Let's go!
Without waiting for Seven or Junpei, she ran straight for the central staircase. They followed. Junpei shut his eyes and swallowed his emotions. Morning would have to wait. Soon they stood in front of the door.
Open!
Lotus shoved the sun key into the keyhole and twisted hard. But
Why?
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing happened. I didn't feel it unlock.
Oh no. Is it the wrong key?
I don't know. Maybe.
Lotus sighed, defeated, and leaned against the doorknob. She felt a twist. A small gap appeared between the door and the frame.
It's open.
Uh-oh.
What the hell is this?
How could it be open if nobody had the sun key?
Wait, you mean the door was already unlocked?
Why?
Then how would I know that? Whatever, let's just go.
Good chance that they're actually running towards the killer, not away from it. It or them. Lotus took a deep breath and slowly opened the door the rest of the way. And the murderer was right in front of them. They stepped inside. In front of them was another hallway. It stretched out towards the bow of the ship. Bow of the ship. Bow? They began to run. Faster and faster they ran, trying desperately to reach the end of the hallway. A few seconds later, they were there. Ugh, I hate these doors. In front of them stood a massive metal door. They were all breathing heavily as Junpei spoke.
What the hell is this door? I can't see anything that looks like a doorknob or switch or lever or card reader or anything. How the fuck are we supposed to open this?
We don't have a choice. We're gonna have to go back.
No, I'm not going back there. There is a murderer back there.
There could be a murderer in front of us. There was more stark terror in Lotus's voice than authority. She was almost begging.
But I don't see any other doors.
As he spoke, Seven stepped toward the door in front of them, as if to illustrate that it was the only door. It just opens by sensors.
No way.
It opened by itself.
It's an automatic door?
Look, guys, I've got a really bad feeling about all this. The other doors were already unlocked, and this one's automatic. We haven't seen anything like this before.
He has a good
Bad
point.
feeling.
How could their situation possibly get worse? 3 people were already
We've
dead.
hit bottom. This can't get any worse. Shit!
Hey, Junpei!
He stepped through the door.
I can't take this anymore. No one can.
And whatever hope Junpei had managed this summer disappeared.
No. It's a lie. It's gotta be. This can't be real. No. It's impossible. If it's a dream, just wake up already. Someone please tell me it's all just a joke. I'm imagining things. Yep, that's it. This is all obviously a lie. It's a big, elaborate trick. An illusion or something. Or a dream. It's made up.
It wasn't real, right? June. No, the codenames meant nothing now. Connie. Junpei cried out and leapt through the door. That's a lot of blood. I like her shoes, though. Sorry, not the time. He flew through to her side, his heart like a stone in his chest.
Connie, hang on.
Junpei swept her up and shook her by the shoulder. She moaned and her eyes fluttered open, but only barely.
Connie!
Jumpy?
Her face was pale and her lips were dry and cracked. Her eyes were blank and cloudy. They stared straight at Junpei but saw nothing. Junpei put his hands against the small of her back to hold her up. It felt warm and wet. He lifted his hand up. It was covered in blood.
Oh man, Connie, there's so much blood. What the hell happened to you? How did this happen?
It was all he could do not to break into tears.
Jumpy,
I'm sorry.
Her voice was thin, a minuscule thread that was only... well, that was the only thing keeping her with him.
I might not make it.
No. No way. No way I am going to let you die. I am going to save you. I promise.
Thank you, Jumpy. Thank you so much for everything. I was really happy.
So this is basically the other version of the incinerator / safe ending. Because she says the exact same thing.
To see you again, Jumpy. Really happy.
Oh, don't give me that I was crap. You're gonna see me again lots more times. You just gotta hang on, all right, Connie? You... Ow, what can I do? Damn it!
He looked up from Connie, desperately for something, anything.
What's that?
Then he saw it. A small
A
submarine.
submarine? What on earth is a submarine doing here?
We all go in the yellow submarine. No, that didn't matter. Nothing mattered except saving Connie. That was the only thing he wanted.
That's it!
Junpei turned his head back to look down at her.
Hang on, all right? There's a submarine over there. I'm gonna go see if it works.
No! Don't go. Please, don't go. Please, just stay with me, okay?
That's the difference. The last time she said, okay. It's okay. She nodded. Sure, go away. Now she doesn't want him to leave.
I want to be close to you, Jumpy. When I...
Connie.
Jumpy, did you know you meant a lot to me when we were kids? I've liked you for a long time, Junpei. A really long time.
Junpei's vision had gone blurry. It took him a moment to realize his eyes were filled with tears. He could feel a piercing point of deep heat deep in his heart. I still fall. I fell over the same thing. Heat deep in his heart, like a white hot flame.
Jumpy, do you remember we hung out a lot when we were kids? We went to the pool and to the fair. Do you remember playing snowball at the school? They're all memories I'll never forget.
I mean, you're gonna die, so you'll forget.
All of those moments are treasures to me. But I also wanted to go to a lot of other places with you. A lot more. But that won't happen now.
No. I mean, yes. Yes, it will happen. We'll go all sorts of places, Connie. You hear me? I promise. We'll go wherever you want.
Really?
Yeah, really. I swear.
That makes me happy.
Sorry. I thought she was done. She said it to herself over and over, a weak smile creasing her tired face.
Jumpy, I feel sleepy.
No, Connie, don't fall asleep.
Thank you, Jumpy. Thank you so much.
Her eyes were slowly closing. Bear screamed, even as he felt his throat go hoarse.
Connie! Connie! Connie!
Well... Time passed. Junpei wept, curled around Connie's body. He cried and cried until he had no tears left. When the last tear fell, Junpei was no more. His body remained, but only as an empty shell. Somewhere he heard the bell ring. It was the clock at the central staircase. 2, 3, 4, rang 5 times, then faded.
5 o'clock.
Quietly, gently, softly, he set Connie then down on the floor. Slowly, Junpei stood. Only then did he realize that Seven and Lotus had not followed him. Where had they gone? Slowly, he looked around the room. There was nothing. No sign that they had ever been there. It felt as though every part of Junpei's body was made out of lead. Slowly, he made his way to the door he'd come through. As he approached it, it opened, sliding apart with the sound of grinding stone. Junpei passed through the gate and into the hallway. And now they are killed too. His heart rattled in his chest, an empty, lifeless thing. It had been so utterly broken that there was nothing left to feel. When he saw their bodies, he simply stared. It was a lake, a sea of blood. 2 bodies lay in it. There was no need to check. There was no breath left in them. His eyes lit on Lotus's wrist. Her bracelet. It was gone. He stared. It meant nothing to him. He didn't care anymore. He couldn't care anymore. Junpei's body felt numb. A part of him knew the lump of lead in his chest had once been a heart. He couldn't quite remember what it had been for. Tears poured from his eyes in great streams. He wasn't sure why. He gave up trying to make them stop. He turned around, the other door opened again, and slowly, numbly, he walked through. He kept walking. Why stop? An object set in motion, simply inertia carried him forward. Eventually, he found himself in front of a submarine. His arms stretched for the hatch. And then he got killed. And then he was floating in water. His eyes stared down into it. He couldn't see the bottom. His back was hot. Dimly he felt the blade of a knife in it. Who? The one dead body lay behind door number 5, the body of the 9th man. Another lay in the shower room, the body of Snake. At the central staircase there were 3 more, Ace, Santa, and Clover. Just outside the door were 2 corpses, those of Seven and Lotus. And in this very room lay the body that once had been Connie. And now Junpei would join them. Who then had killed them all? Who? It couldn't have been actually Snake because he's stuck in that coffin, remember? So that's not possible. Ace is dead too, so he couldn't have killed them. Junpei let out one last breath. Faintly, he felt the bubbles creep up the side of his face. His consciousness faded quickly, dissolving away into the cold, gentle lapping of the water. That's another ending, which is a really bad ending. So, actually don't know if I can skip it. Oh, yes I can. Yay! I got the achievement, We All Die by a Yellow Submarine, a Yellow Submarine. As you can see, we only have one ending left, which is the true ending. But that is gonna have to wait for the other episode. I don't know if it'll be the last episode. Could be, but it could also have to be split into 2 parts because I do know what comes after it, and it's a lot of puzzles. So, yeah. Let me see here. And we have to do everything to unlock it again. So the next episode, we're gonna have to go through this entire thing again, and through door 7 again, and through door 1 again, and then open up the coffin here, and I believe then we can do the ending. I still don't know what this is. I might look it up to see if it's something important, and I might show it in the next episode. I don't know, but you'll figure that out next time. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.